Ah, okay. Let me just say hello. Welcome back to another class on Verbling. Looking forward to having a good conversation with you guys today. We'll be talking about westward expansion, how that happened, and obviously you guys will have a chance to share your opinions and your ideas. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi, Ali. Welcome back to the class.
Hi Abby, how are you?
I'm okay. How are you feeling today?
I am fine, thank you.
Wonderful. Nice to have you back with us. Hi,
Nice to see
Andre.
you again.
Thank you. Hi, Andre. Welcome back.
Hi dear, thank you. How
Oh,
are you?
I'm doing very good. Thank you for asking, Andre. How was your day today?
It was a normal day. I was working today.
Ah, okay. What's the weather like where you live?
It's like a rainy now.
Raining?
And I didn't take my umbrella in the morning, so
Uh-oh. So you got soaked.
yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Sorry about that. That's the worst when you get caught in the rain. I hate that.
Yeah.
Let me say hello to Victor. Hi, Victor. How are you?
Hi Abby, I'm not bad, thank you. How about you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking.
Glad to see you.
Glad to see you as well. And Abraham, how are you?
Hello. I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Excellent. I'm very good. I think this is the first time that I've had you in a class, no?
Yes, it's my first time. I just recently joined to Werbling.
Cool. Sorry, where did you say you're from? Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
I live in Hungary,
Okay.
in a little city. It's called Santander, near to the capital city, Budapest.
Mm-hmm.
I am learning programming in a university, and I have a cute dog. I don't
What kind
know.
of what kind of dog do you have?
Puli. It's a special Hungarian dog.
Very nice. Thank you for sharing that with me. I love dogs. Most of my students know that about me. I love dogs and animals. So thanks for coming. Hi, Dario. Welcome to the class.
Hello to everyone.
Nice to meet you, Dario. How are you feeling today?
Fine, thanks. You?
Very well. Tell me where you're from.
Parma, Italy, North Italy.
Very nice. Thanks for joining me today. I'm very happy to have you in class.
Thank you.
And hi, Paul. Paolo, welcome. How are you today?
Hi, teacher. I'm doing well, thank you.
Beautiful. Thanks for joining us. It's good to see you guys. So today's class is about westward expansion. So I'm going to ask you a question. What do you think about, or what words do you associate with the Western world? Let's start with Victor.
I have no idea, sorry.
The Western world. What do you think of when you think of that part of the planet?
Western. Where is it?
North America, South America.
Is that imply in Europe or no?
No.
Okay.
Well, it kind of does, but what do you think of when you think of that hemisphere? We've got the Western Hemisphere and we have the Eastern Hemisphere. What do you associate with the Western Hemisphere? That's okay, Victor. Let's get some answers and then maybe you'll have a chance to think, okay? Let's ask Andre, what would you say?
McDonald's.
See, there you go. Good job.
United States. What do you mean associate? It's countries or just?
It's not
Yeah.
any. It's nothing specific. It's that whole side of the globe. So it could be anything from McDonald's to natives to
Hollywood.
anything.
Hollywood. Hollywood.
Hollywood. Yeah, that's a good one. Hollywood for sure. What about you, Ali? What do you think of when you think of the Western world? What do you like about it? What do you dislike? What do you see on TV?
I don't know, maybe about America. This is America is the strongest country in the world,
Mm-hmm.
and people say it's a country of freedom, and many people like America. I don't know.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I never been. I have never been in America.
I'm joking.
I didn't see.
Yeah, it's when I think of the Western world compared or the Western expansion, maybe apart from Europe, I think of new. New. Everything is new and different, right? Than the rest. What about you, Daddy-O? What do you think of?
But when you say Western world, you refer to Europe and the American continent.
Exactly.
If the words are, uh, mm, I don't know because it's a very big area. Uh, uh, I don't know now.
It's a very general question. I mean,
Yeah,
it could be anything.
I think that most of the best films in the world arrive from this area. I think
Films or
uh,
movies.
European directors and American directors. I think they are the best directors in the world.
Thank you. Good one. Michael, can you think of anything?
Okay, so from what you said, like that implies that America, South America, and North America, yeah, both Western world. Okay, so let me break down. So Canada would be for me cold country, mostly cold country, and lots of immigrants all around the world, and very friendly country, like peaceful, friendly country. The United States, it's as well a country of immigrants and lots of nations and technology. From there, we have lots of technologies. I mean, innovations. Yeah, is it correct?
Good. Good answers.
And the south part is America, like Spanish language and like. But about South America, I don't know so much. So.
Okay. Well, no, those are good answers. Yeah, the dollar, Lee, there's a good one. Anybody else think of any words that they associate with North America?
English language.
The English language, absolutely. Very good. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at.
Abi, what do you associate with North America?
I said new. When I feel like everything in North America is new. That's what I think of.
Okay. Did you say? I missed, I think.
Yeah, that's all I said in the chat box was I associate new, whereas European countries or other areas of the world seem to have a lot more like historical. Well, there's a lot more history there. There's a lot more historical places and things, whereas here I feel like in Canada, especially where I live in Canada, because Quebec, you start getting maybe some of those older places, but here I feel like everything is new. There's not a lot of history, and when you go, the beauty is more in the nature and scenery, not so much in what the buildings or the infrastructure is.
Okay.
Okay, thanks for asking, though. Let's go ahead and take a look. Yeah, Victor, Aboriginals. Exactly, those are the types of words that I was thinking of. Wonderful. NATO, yeah, good job, you guys. Fantastic. So, let's go to our questions here to have a discussion for the beginning of this class. And maybe we could have Paolo read the first one and give me your answer. What you think or your opinion or maybe what you've heard. Go ahead, Paulo.
Why did European people sail to the New World? Suppose because they had the idea that in a new country they will have more a better life or more work or something like that, or maybe only because they ran from the misery from his nation, with the first worldwide, second one.
Excellent, good answer. Anyone else have an idea about why European people sailed to the New World? Okay, Abraham, can you please read the second question for us and give us your answer?
Yes. Why do people move to different places?
What do you think?
I think one of the main reasons the job, they can get better job in different places, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Or they want to see the world at other places at the world. I don't know.
Good, really good. Ala, welcome to the class. Good to see you again.
Hello, teacher. How are you?
Hello, I'm very well. Thanks for asking. Thanks for coming. Can you tell me why do people move to different places? Abraham gave us a fantastic one. Give us some different reasons that people might move.
Yeah, I agree with him. People may move for a better to find a better situation or circumstances of life. Maybe people move to other places to find new resources, maybe like energy resources or water, as in the past. Yeah, that's my opinion.
Awesome, good answer. Anyone else think of a different reason for moving to a new place or a different place?
Maybe to find a job or something. Maybe you have. So what's that imply? That in that place no one lives, or there are like people. For example, if I move to another country, is and this question.
It's what do you mean, Michael? It's just why do people move? Like, what are some reasons for moving or relocating? Could be for a job.
Oh, okay. So many reasons, like maybe like you have there like some relatives, and you decided to move because new job opportunities there, for example, or you decided to move.
Absolutely, yeah.
Maybe
And
they are bored.
Or okay, go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to say maybe they are bored with the current one.
Yeah, maybe they're bored. Boredom. Absolutely. Ali, what were you going to say?
Maybe you are in a difficult situation in your country. You have to run away or escape your country, and a kind of a war in your country maybe, and you want to be a safe area for you. Something
Very
like
good. Do you know what we call that, Ali? Do you know what we call people who leave their countries to escape?
Refugees.
Yeah, very good. Refugees.
Yeah, refugees.
Perfect. Let's go to the next question. Ali, do you want to read it for us and give us your answer?
Third one?
The third one, yeah.
Have you ever moved to a new city? I haven't moved a new city. Just when I study at university, I lived in another city, and after university, and I came back my home city. And in my life, sometimes.
What's your answer? Oops. Somebody has. Fidel, sorry, I'm going to have to mute you just because there's some repeat coming through. Continue, Ali.
In my life, I lived several times different city, maybe for 1 year, 2 years, different times. But I never totally moved another city, come back to my homeland finally.
Good. So the city that you live in now, Ali, you were born there?
Yeah,
Wow. Me too at this moment. Me too.
yeah.
Good job. Thanks for sharing. Anybody else want to tell me if they've ever moved to a new city and maybe share the experience with us, what it was like or what you liked or disliked about it?
No, I never moved to another city.
Wow, that's amazing to me.
I moved.
Where did you move, Andre, and why?
I moved I found a work and I moved to another city and rented a flat there and live here now.
Mm-hmm.
It's not so far from my hometown. It's about 100 kilometers, and that's how I live.
Cool, very good. Anybody else want to talk about whether they moved or not and why?
Yes, teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was born in Kuwait, in the city of Kuwait.
Okay.
Then we have to move after the Gulf War in 1990. So we went back to our homeland. Then I moved to another city when I had to study in the university, and back to my homeland. And now I moved to a new city for working for a job also.
Okay, thank you for sharing. Excellent. So for a job, you were able to move. Do you own any land? Is land expensive in your country? Does anyone want to answer that question? Either of them?
Yep. So I do not own any land, and land is expensive in the city area, and it depends for what land. If it's far away, like it's less expensive, but if it's like near the city, so it's relatively expensive. But I don't know exactly the prices. I used to like to look up, but nowadays no.
Okay, thank you for sharing that with us. Do you think buying land is a good investment, Fidel?
It depends on the country that you live. For example, in the United States, I don't think so. Is the cost of the houses is still going down? It won't be a good investment. I mean, a good investors. But if you invest in, I don't know, it could be a good investor. It depends
So
on where you
depending
live.
on the city. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes. For example, if you invest right now in Qatar, it will be a good investment. I mean.
Thank you for sharing. What about you?
Sorry, if you invest in what? What did you say?
Land.
Invest in land.
Oh, just land. Okay.
Okay, very good. Paulo, what do you think? You think buying land is a good investment in the area that you live? Why or not? Why or why not?
It depends of the, if you can afford. I mean, if you have the money and you don't need to ask for money to the bank, and maybe if you buy it and you sell it the same year, maybe you can have you can earn money there. But I feel that it depends also on the situation of the country, because, for example, you can have an advantage, for example, when there are a crisis, because you can buy a land cheaper. And if you wait some years, if the economy recovers in that country, maybe you can have it there. But it depends, I suppose that it's not an easy investment. You need to know a little bit.
Good. Thank you for sharing. So it just depends about how smart you are, maybe the research that you do before you buy a certain property, right? Why do you think people move from the East Coast to the West Coast in America, Victor? Why do you think they did that?
I didn't know they moved.
Well, meaning that they eventually spread across the continent and went all the way to the West Coast.
Why they think? I don't know why.
Okay.
For the gold.
What about
It was for the gold.
why do people?
Gold fever, right?
We're going to find out in our reading. We're going to learn about the westward expansion. This is interesting even for me, because when Canadians go to school, they do talk about this type of history, but not so much when it comes to the United States. So it's quite an interesting article. So let's go ahead and get started. Any questions before? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Strange. I think everywhere cities or people expand through the west, from east to west. In my country or in my city, people go through the west, not never go through the east. It's strange, I think.
That is interesting.
Yes.
Okay, well, let's go ahead.
Something in west maybe pulling people. I don't know.
Maybe it's, some kind of magnet.
Yeah.
What is in west, Ali? Is there like capital? What city? Big cities in west in your country?
In the west, like Istanbul, is the biggest
it's the
city.
capital.
It's not capital. The capital is
No?
the center of Turkey. Capital is Ankara in Turkey.
Okay.
But Istanbul is the biggest city. Around 20 million people live in that city, and west of Turkey is a development region in my country. That's why people move there for find a job. Yeah, something like that.
Okay, good. Thank you for sharing, you guys. Abraham, do you want to read the first highlighted part of that first paragraph for us and read about the westward expansion?
Yes, I can read it. In I am
1803. 1803.
Yeah, 1803. President Thomas Jefferson sent a secret message to Congress. He went to explore the area west of the Mississippi River to the Pacific Ocean. Jefferson's message was secret because France owned the territory, and such an expedition would be considered trespassing.
Excellent. Really good reading, Abraham. Thank you very much. And Ala, the next part of that paragraph?
Then, in July of the same year, Napoleon of France offered the whole Louisiana territory to the United States for $15 million.
There you go.
America accepted, and overnight, the United States grew by about 1 million square miles from the Mississippi to the Rockies and from the Gulf of Mexico to Canada.
Excellent. Really good reading. Okay, so let's talk about the first paragraph. What was the secret message to Congress about? Andre?
The secret message was by President Thomas Jefferson to explore the area west of Mississippi River to the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah, and why was it such a secret, Fidel? Why was it a secret?
Because it belongs to France, right?
Exactly. So Any questions on the vocabulary? Michael wants to know about trespassing. Does anyone else have a question about? Anyone else have a question about vocabulary? Who can explain what trespassing is?
Entering without permission. Something.
Yeah, it's going onto the property of someone or a group of people that does not belong to you. So, for example, if I were to enter your house without permission, that would be trespassing because that's your personal property. Okay?
Okay, so can you use like a verb? He trespassed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I trespass onto my neighbor's property every day. Or she trespasses. Okay?
I never seen this word.
Really? It's quite
Yeah.
common. It's quite common in Canada and the United States. You'll see signs on people's properties that says no trespassing.
Bad dogs or.
No, or it could be, but usually it means, like, if you step on my property, I have the right to.
Shoot you.
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes. Although that would be pretty extreme, and there would have to be some type of reason. But does anyone else have something like this in their country where there's laws against trespassing or a way to indicate whether a place is off bounds or out of limits?
Yes, for example, in Spain is something like they put a signal with private property, something like that, not pass, you know. That is the same, yeah. I suppose it's the same.
Excellent. So is there a fine or what's the consequence, Paolo, if somebody does trespass onto somebody else's property? What's the consequence?
Suppose that if the landlord see you, maybe they call the police or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but
same here.
Not something serious. No? Maybe you trespass inside a premises of something, you know. It's not the same if you are in the middle of the mountain and you trespass the property of someone that you go inside a building. That is something more serious.
Excellent. Excellent. Good job. And Andrew's right. Sometimes it's beware of dog that keeps people off of property. Although I see that sign and go, oh, a dog, and I go over. Good. Excellent. Let's continue with our reading. Let's have Ali read the first highlighted part of the next paragraph. Please, Ali.
Okay. Shortly before this news, Jefferson had handed his personal secretary, Meriwether Lewis, whom he chose to lead the exploration, his instructions for the expedition. He told him to explore the area by traveling along the river. Jefferson believed that if they followed the water, it would be the most direct route to the Pacific Ocean.
Excellent. And Andre, could you read the rest of that paragraph?
Yeah, when Lewis needed a second in command, he recommended his good friend William Clark. On May 14, 1804, the Lewis and Clark expedition started from St. Louis in search of the Pacific Ocean. 2.5 years and 8,000 miles later, the explorers returned to St. Louis. Although the route never became widely used, it was the start of the Western exploration movement. The search of America had begun.
Okay, very good. So, any questions on the vocabulary before we talk about what happened here? Who is Lewis? Victor, who is Lewis? Are you there, Victor?
Yes.
Take your time.
Meriwether Lewis, secretary of Jefferson.
There you go. And then what did he end up doing when it came to this big project of going to the Pacific? What did he do for those people?
Sorry, I don't understand question.
What did he do? What was he chosen for?
They did exploration.
Yeah, they explored. And thank you very much. Excellent job. Why were they exploring, Michael?
Why?
Yeah, why were they exploring?
But where is written? He's written like they followed along the rivers, the most direct route to the Pacific Ocean.
Mm-hmm.
And the search for America had begun.
Exactly. So what do you imagine would have happened on a journey like that, making their way across?
Across the ocean?
No, across the continent.
The continent?
What types of things do you imagine they would have experienced?
Well, I don't know if they're like Indians. In those times there were Indians there, in all the country. I think there was kind of a war with them. Kind of they fight with Indians.
Okay, so they would have met new nations, maybe fighting, things like that. Anybody else have any ideas of other challenges that would come with a journey like this?
They poisoned Indians a little bit. Like have you ever heard? Yeah, they gave them poisoned sheets. Like I read that. So the poisoned sheets and pillows or something. Not poisoned, but with viruses.
Okay.
Like, from the hospitals. So I've heard that.
Anybody else want to answer that question? Or maybe you guys would like to make a comment on who William Clark was, why he would need a person like William with him. Anybody? Okay, so they started searching.
Who is that? Sorry, William Meriwether Lewis. I mean, was
Meriwether Lewis was
personal
the president's
secretary.
personal secretary, and he chose that person, Lewis, to lead a group of people to explore to the west. They were going all the way to the Pacific Ocean, and Lewis obviously needed somebody to help him. He needed a second in command, and that's who he chose, was William Clark, his good friend. They went all the way to the Pacific coast, and then 2.5 years later they returned back to St. Louis, and that was the first time that the Western world had been fully explored by these people. Okay?
Okay.
Any questions on what we see in the article so far? Okay.
No.
Okay. Let's go to our next paragraph, and I think it's Fidel. Could you read that for us?
Yes. Well, but first, maybe you can explain me in the second paragraph. At the end, when it say, although the route never became widely used.
Okay, so when they went, they would have made some kind of route or pathway.
Okay.
Okay, a camino.
Yeah, I got it.
So it didn't become a very popular pathway after that.
All right. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
Okay, when America expanded to the west, the event that made people want to move was the California Gold Rush. The discovery boosted California's populations by 80,000 people. It was not only the gold rush that made people want to move. The pioneer spirit that exists in the 19th century was born from a need to own land.
Excellent reading. Can you repeat one word for me? It's boosted.
Boosted.
Thank you very much, Fidel. Any questions on the vocabulary?
Last sentence.
Sorry, Fidel, can you mute your microphone just because you don't have headphones in? And there we go. What was the question, Michael?
Last sentence. The pioneer spirit that existed in the 19th century was born from a need to own land. What's that? Need to own land. What's that imply?
From a desire to want to be landowners.
Okay, so kind of those people, they wanted to have new land, like.
They wanted to own their own piece of land. So then they started to get this pioneer spirit where they were going to start spearheading or going ahead and being the first to see and do these things so that they could be landowners.
Okay, clear. So the first come first, like, is their land. Okay.
Exactly. Exactly. Let's talk about that word boosted. How might we use the word boosted in business? Ala, what do you think? When might we see that word in business?
In business, maybe encourage or encouragement or in business if there is maybe a big achievement or I don't know exactly.
Okay, very good. A big achievement. What does the word boosted mean? Who can maybe give me a quick definition?
Increase rapidly.
Exactly.
In a high amount.
So maybe we could have Abraham. Give me an example of something that could be boosted. Something that could be boosted.
Sales, shares, incomes.
What?
Okay, go ahead, Abraham. That's true, Fidel. Good. Shares. What else, Abraham?
I guess salary there, but it's not boosted, I think.
Teacher, don't we use it with energy to boost energy or like that?
Okay, what can you do to boost your energy?
Maybe training or
Eat.
Or eating, yes, eating. Yeah.
Absolutely. Maybe you take vitamins or supplements, or you eat lots of vegetables and et cetera, to boost your energy. Or you can be like Andrew and have a cup of coffee.
Boost computer, maybe, with new hardware.
Ah, that's a good one. Boost your computer with new hardware. Abraham, was that you?
Yes.
Excellent example. When's the last time you've done that?
Last month.
Okay, very good. Anybody else want to talk about something that you could boost? We have a Canadian drink chain. It's called Booster Juice. What do you guys think it is? What do you think the chain is all about?
Energy drinks, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I thought it's alcohol, but not.
No alcohol, no.
What is smoothie bars?
No, it's, yeah, exactly, a smoothie bar. That's exactly what it is. It's when you go to a place and you order like a specialized smoothie and you choose the different fruits, the different vitamins, and the booster is a shot of vitamins that they put inside of the smoothie to make it more powerful and to give you more energy. We call it a booster because it makes it better for you. Okay?
Okay.
Any other questions, you guys?
So, do you feel boosted after visiting Booster Juice? Like, do you have more energy or?
I suppose, but I've always got a lot of energy, so I don't really notice a difference.
Okay, you should try like after 2 o'clock in the night, like to see when you are sleeping, like you're waking up, you're going to Booster Juice, and you see, do you have energy or no?
Then I might not be teaching the classes that day.
Yes.
Commercial boost in the last quarter sales. Good example, Paulo. Can you please say that in the microphone? That's a good example.
Yeah, the Super Bowl commercial boosted the last quarter sales.
Yeah, why do you think that it did that?
You know, because you advertise your new product there, a lot of people is gonna buy it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Any other examples using boosted or booster or boost? Let's continue. We can have Michael read the next part for us.
The stories that were told by explorers and missionaries just back from the West were filled with images of open landscapes, plenty of animals to hunt, and clear rivers and lakes. The Easterners longed for this type of life because the larger cities along the eastern seaboard were moving into the industrial age.
And we'll have Paulo finish it for us.
The streets were crowded with workers, and the skies were constantly blackened by coal smoke from numerous factories. This change in cities had occurred so rapidly that early settlers began to yearn for the simpler life they had led before. They found this life out in the Wild West.
The Wild West.
Wild West.
Good, excellent. Okay, any questions on the vocabulary for our last paragraph?
Longed.
Longed is desired.
Okay.
To long for something is to desire.
Blackened.
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 Blackened is to be made black.
Okay.
Year, what does it mean?
Sorry, one more.
Year. The last before the last sentence.
Yearn. It's the same as long for, to desire.
Thank you.
To desire. Okay. You could say for example, maybe in old romance movies, they would say something like, I yearn for you. It means that they love that person or they want to be with them. Okay. So what was appealing about the West for these people? What was appealing? Victor, why did they want to go to the West?
Because it was pollution in the air and overcrowded streets.
Mm-hmm.
In
so,
cities.
In your country, Victor, where do people go when they get tired of the big cities, pollution, etc.? Where do people like to go?
To the countryside, maybe.
To the countryside. How often do they go there?
I don't know. I live in the countryside.
So you already have that.
Yeah.
Good. Anyone else want to talk about why these Easterners wanted to go to the West and what your opinion is maybe? What would you rather be around? Who wants to share their opinion?
Open landscape, plenty of animals to hunt, and clear rivers and lakes.
So who would prefer the East and who would prefer the West? Who wants to share their opinion?
I would prefer the West because there is gold there.
Now you're thinking, Andre. Yeah, so you're thinking of financial reasons to move, which is obviously a huge motivator. Anybody else want to talk about where they would like to go and why? I think I would choose the West because I'm a country girl. I like the city, it's lots of fun, but at the end of the day, I'm definitely born and raised in the country, so that's probably where I would feel more comfortable long term. Anybody else want to share?
As here is described, skies were constantly blackened by coal smoke. How do you pronounce again, please, Abby?
Blackened?
Blackened by coal smoke. So from numerous factors, and that's kind of not healthy. So if I had to choose, I would definitely choose West because of that.
Good. Excellent answer. Anybody else want to share? Okay, good job. So that's what happened. Who can give me maybe just a quick summary of the westward expansion? Was it from Europe to North America? Or what was this expansion all about? Who can tell me?
From east to the west.
From east to the west of the same continent.
Yeah.
Very good.
The United States. Because of gold. They went there and because of to be the new owners of the land. Like who first came there would come, they would own the land. And because of the cities, like in the east, there were like a lot of pollution, and conversely, in the west, were a lot of clean air.
Nice. Good description. Very good description. Ali, go ahead.
That was this kind of a movie I remember, Far and Away, Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman's movie. They just moved to America, maybe around Oklahoma. They want to find a land for themselves and make a own farm or work area for that. People was raising to find a land for themselves. It was a kind of race, and who first go to the land, the land become their own property. I remember that kind of movie.
Yes, I remember that movie. I remember that, Ali. Thanks for sharing that with us. So let's have a discussion. We're going to talk about moving, traveling, expeditions, your country, and we can start with Paulo. Why don't you choose a different student in the class and ask them one of the questions on the list, okay?
Okay. I need to choose someone, no? I don't know, for example, Abraham, I'm going to ask you the first question. What is the purpose of an expedition?
That's for you, Abraham. Number one.
Oh, sorry. Number one was the purpose. I guess to explore new lands, to get new fields and expedition, explore animals and plants, and discover new things in the new world. I think that's all.
Excellent. Very good. Have you ever been on an expedition, Abraham?
Yes, when I was a child, but it not was expedition, but just a trip, I guess.
Okay, where did you go?
To the near forest near my city, and we camped there.
Good. Okay, Abraham, I want you to choose a different question from the list and any student to answer it for you.
Okay. I choose the 5. Has gold or silver ever been discovered in your country? If so, when?
And who are you asking?
Ali.
Oh my God, my name is easy. That's why people choose me.
Sorry.
I don't know. I remember only one of two cities. People searching for gold, but there was a lot of discussion about them because when people searching gold, they use some kind of chemicals, poisonous chemicals, and make the rivers poisonous, something like that. And the people who live there against to searching gold, I think that there was a conflict sometimes between government, police, and people. I don't know how much gold they found there, but I remember something like that.
Excellent. Thanks for sharing. Go ahead, Ali. Choose a different question, a different student.
Okay. Maybe Andre. What was life like in the 19th century in your country? How did people get around? What kind of houses did people live in?
Good question, but I don't know how did they live. Maybe in 19th century the population lived mostly in the countryside, and there were like wooden houses, many wooden houses, and there were many cities, but the city buildings were not so sophisticated, or maybe I mean not like they looked like not like modern buildings. That's all I think that I know.
Okay, good. Yeah, sometimes. What about transportation, Andre? What do you think?
I think it was kind of horses. What how do you call horses? I mean,
Horses, cart, something.
yeah, like carts, horses, cars. Yeah.
Okay, very good. Thank you for sharing.
Carts, right?
Cars?
No. Cars. Okay. I mean something that you attach to horse and.
Okay. Usually we'd call it a carriage.
Carrot. Okay.
A carriage, yeah. Horse and carriage.
Okay.
Okay, let's continue. Go ahead, Andre, and choose a different student with a different question.
Okay. My question is to Fidel. Do you think there are any unexplored areas left on Earth? If so, where?
What number? Hello?
Hello?
What's the questions?
The question was, are there any unexplored areas left on Earth? If so, where?
It's I think there is. I think, of course, there is some other lands to discover in the Earth. I don't think we I don't know every cave that these planets have. So I think there is so many other places to discover. But where? That's the issue. I don't know. In the oceans, I don't know. Maybe we couldn't explore so farther the oceans. There is huge amounts of lands right there, so it could be a good place to start discover or to start a.
Okay, good. Thank you, Fidel.
No
Your
problem.
microphone and your connection are a little bit choppy, but I understood what you were saying. Can you choose a different student and a different question for them?
Who's left? Victor, right?
Yeah, Victor.
Let's see. Number 11. Would you rather live now in the 19th century?
Life now? Yes. I would prefer live now than 9th century because of the internet. I can't live without internet.
Good job. Excellent answer, Victor. And let's see. Victor, can you ask Ala one of the questions?
Yes. Number 8. As America was being built, the Native Americans were killed and forced off of their lands. How do you think this could have been avoided?
Okay, Native Americans. Maybe better understanding each other, maybe being open to new culture and other thoughts, other opinions, maybe accepting the other as they are. All that can help to avoid killing and wars like that.
Okay.
Good. Excellent. And Ala, can you ask Michael a question?
Yeah. Number 17. If you could go on an exploring adventure, where would you go? What would you do? What would you want to go? Why would you want to go there?
I would go to explore the Canada, unexplored land.
And what would you do? Why would you want to go there?
I would fight bears and cougars.
What would you be looking for?
For gold.
For gold.
What else could I look for in those kind of places where it's like
diamonds? You could look for Canadian diamonds.
Okay, and
Canadian
well,
women. Canadian women.
Well, I don't know.
Oh, Michael got shy. Okay, Michael, ask Paula the last question.
So, actually, Victor asked my question, but maybe can we ask again this question because it's really interesting. So, as America was being built, the Native Americans were killed and forced off their lands. How do you think this could have been avoided?
Suppose that it's not easy. For example, in South America, I suppose that they didn't kill the native people, but it was like a slavery, you know, and it's not a good option also. I feel that the only way is to trade with the lands, something like going there and I buy you that land because you have a lot of land here, and you know you live in that part and live in the other one. But maybe it's an option.
Good job, you guys.
Okay, thanks.
Excellent work. Are there any questions about today's lesson, about the vocabulary, any of the questions that you guys saw in the document?
really interesting lesson. I didn't know about this so detailed. Maybe I've heard somewhere, but in details, no.
Glad you enjoyed it. No, it was interesting for me as well. Thank you guys for coming. It was very nice to have you. And Abraham, yes, maybe I do need a booster juice.
I was just kidding.
With a brain booster. A brain